Alright, let's talk about one of the most popular things on the road today. A shiny brand new truck. But what if I told you that truck isn't just a truck? What if it's actually $1 million mistake in disguise? Okay. I know what you're thinking. That sounds completely insane, right? How in the world can a $70,000 vehicle end up costing you over $1 million? Well, stick with me, because it's not a trick. By the end of this, you're gonna see exactly how the math works out, and more importantly, how this one purchase can quietly torpedo your entire financial future. So to untangle this whole $1 million mess, we have to start with the easy stuff, the costs we see right up front, the parts of the deal we think we understand. So picture this: you're at the dealership. You found the perfect truck. Sticker price is 70 grand. You do the standard 10% down payment, so that's $7,000, and you finance the rest 63 grand. They set you up with a pretty typical loan, 72 months, which is 6 years at a 7% interest rate. This exact thing happens every single day at dealerships all over the country. Okay, fast forward 6 years. You've made every single payment. So what did you actually pay for that truck? Well, you add up all those monthly payments, plus that down payment from the beginning, and you land right here, $84,500. That's almost 15 grand more than the sticker price, and that extra cash went straight to the bank as interest, so you've paid all that money. The loan is finally gone and the title is in your hand. It's officially yours, but this is where we have to ask the most painful question of all. After all that time and all that money, your truck is now worth just $31,000. I mean, it's just a hard truth. The second you drove it off the lot, it started losing value fast. We're talking more than half its original value just gone poof. And this chart, I mean, it just lays the trap out perfectly, doesn't it? You see that huge bar on the left? That's the mountain of cash you paid, and that little bar on the right, that's the tiny hill of value you're left with. All that empty space in between, yeah, that was your money. And it's never coming back. Let's put a fine point on it. You are in the hole. $53,500. That money didn't grow, it didn't build you anything, it just evaporated. It's like you lit almost $1,000 on fire every single month for 6 years. But here's the crazy part. This isn't even the most expensive part of the story. Not even close. You see that? 53 grand is just the appetizer. Now, we have to talk about the real villain of this story. A little thing called opportunity cost. This is the concept that turns a really bad purchase into a life-changing $1 million catastrophe. So what the heck is it? Well, put simply, opportunity cost is the ghost of the money you could have made. It's all the profit and all the growth you miss out on when you decide to park your money in one place, like a truck that loses value, instead of another, like an investment that grows. So let's just watch what could have happened. Instead of buying that truck, imagine you invested that same $70,000 into a boring old index fund, earning a pretty average 7% return. Well, that's when the magic of compound interest takes over. After 10 years, it's nearly doubled. After 30 years, you're looking at over $500,000. And over a typical 40-year career, it grows to over $1 million. And that right there, that's the devastating truth of it all. The real price of that truck wasn't 70 grand. It wasn't even the 84,000 you paid. The true cost was the $1 million retirement fund you gave up to drive it. It literally cost you your financial freedom. And to make that big number feel a little more real, what does $1 million even mean for retirement? Well, using what's called a 4% withdrawal rate, that's an extra income of over $3,300 every single month for the rest of your life. I mean, that's a mortgage payment. That's all your bills, that's your travel budget. All of it traded away for a truck. So you have to ask, right? If the math is this brutal, why do so many smart people walk right into this trap? Well, the answer isn't on a spreadsheet. It's in our heads. It's about the psychology of what's really being sold. This quote just nails it. The marketing for new trucks is genius-level stuff. They are not selling you a machine that hauls things. They're selling you an identity. They're selling the feeling of being tough, of being successful, of being confident. You're not buying a vehicle. You're buying an image of who you want to be. And their number one tactic is a classic magic trick. Misdirection. They know if you look at the total cost, you'll run for the hills, so they get you to focus on one tiny, harmless-looking number, the monthly payment. Can you afford this each month? That sounds so much better than, hey, are you willing to burn 53 grand and also forfeit $1 million retirement? Okay, Enough of the problem. This isn't about making you feel guilty. It's about showing you a way out. So let's talk about the escape plan. Let's talk about the smarter choices that actually build your wealth, instead of destroying it first up. The rental strategy. You gotta be honest with yourself. How often do you really need a truck? For most people, it's just a handful of times a year. So look at this, owning that new truck cost you around $15,000 a year. When you add up the payment, insurance and gas, renting a truck from a hardware store for 10 full days, that's about $1,000. You save $14,000 that you can immediately start investing. But what if you're someone who actually does need a truck pretty regularly for work or a hobby? Well, there's an even better strategy for you. It's called the two-car approach. The beauty here is in the logic. Instead of one super expensive vehicle that tries to do everything poorly, you buy two specialized used vehicles. You get an $8,000 sedan that sips gas for your daily commute, and you get a solid $15,000 used for all your hauling needs. Your total cost for both is just $23,000. You've met all your needs for less than a third of the price. And here's the payoff by going down this smarter path. You've instantly freed up $47,000 from your vehicle budget. That is life-changing money that you can put to work for you, immediately giving you a massive head start on building that million-dollar future we just talked about. And really, it all just boils down to a different way of thinking, which this quote says perfectly. People who successfully build wealth are playing a totally different game. They're not worried about what their neighbors think of their car. They are focused, laser-focused, on buying assets that will buy them freedom down the road. So, we'll leave you with this one last question to chew on. The next time you feel that pull, that desire for that big shiny new truck, just pause for a second and ask yourself what you're really buying. Because the transaction might not be for a vehicle at all. You might just be selling your future.